A friend of mine had sent me a video on Skype earlier with the comment, "You need to watch this. Less than 4 minutes, but a true wake-up call." Yes, I do have such friends. As he's a bit older than me, I assumed this would be at least 2 months old hoax that probably resurfaced recently. And if nothing else, it would be fun to dissect. So let's see. We're all stupid. We're all going to die.
COVID-19 and blood clots. In Italy, the cure for coronavirus is finally found. Italian doctors disobeyed the World Health Law (WHO) not to do autopsies on the dead of the coronavirus, and they found that it is not a virus but a bacteria that causes death.
Hold on. Couple of fast statements so far. Number 1. Italy disobeyed whose law on autopsy? Really? On 24th of March, WHO did release a guidance on safety measures for managing bodies and performing post-mortems on patients who had died of COVID-19. I have put the link in the description. This guidance does not say autopsy should not take place. Italy did perform post-mortems on patients who had died of COVID-19, though on 1st of April, the Ministry of Health recommended against doing autopsies on patients who clearly had the disease. Other countries, including UK, has also performed postmortems. Number 2, they found it's a bacteria. Now, COVID-19 is caused by a virus called SARS-CoV-2, not a bacteria. Scientists have been studying this disease and its causes for several months now and have sequenced the genetic material of the virus. Calling this an idiot syndrome, Dr. Shara Joshi, senior pulmonologist at Max Hospital, says, "Here, idiot stands for Internet-derived information obstructing treatment. Social media information is misleading people." To clear confusion whether it is a virus or bacteria, one can refer to the Lancet study on genomic characterization and epidemiology of the new coronavirus. Again, link is down in description.
This causes blood clots to form and causes the death of the patient. Italy defeats the so-called COVID-19, which is nothing other than disseminated intravascular coagulation, thrombosis. And the way to combat it, that is, its cure, is with the antibiotics, anti-inflammatories and anticoagulants.
As per several leading science journals and scientific studies, thrombosis or coagulation of blood cells or blood clots is a frequent complication found in COVID-19 patients. Studies from the Netherlands and France suggest that clot forms in 20 to 30% of critically ill COVID-19 patients. This is why WHO has also recommended the use of low molecular weight heparin in clinical management of patients suspected of being affected by COVID-19 to prevent complications related to venous thromboembolism. Post hoc ergo propter hoc. For my non-Latin speaking audience, that means after this, therefore, because of this, is an informal fallacy that states, since event Y followed event X, event Y must have caused by event X. It is often shortened simply to post hoc fallacy.
Aspirin, indicating that this disease had been poorly treated. This sensational news for the world has been produced by Italian doctors by performing autopsies on corpses reduced by the COVID-19.
Wait, this has to be trolling, right? Right? Did I see a bloody alien? Seriously, someone actually falls for this crap? Really?
Something else, according to Italian pathologists. The ventilators and the intensive care unit were never needed. So in Italy the change of protocols began. Italy, the call global pandemic is revealed and lifted by the WHO.
According to all senior medical practitioners, COVID-19 patients with critical respiratory illness or multi-organ or renal failures are often treated in ICU and ventilators. But not all coronavirus patients require ICU and ventilators. Sergio Harari, Director of Pneumology Operative Unit of San Giuseppe Hospital in Milan, Italy, said in an interview to Italian newspaper Corriere della Sera, most deaths are due to interstitial pneumonia and respiratory failure. To say that patients should not be intubated is totally out of the question.
If they get to contract the COVID-19, which is not a virus as they have made us believe but a bacterium, amplified with 5G electromagnetic radiation that also produces inflammation and hypoxia.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. I haven't made one debunking 5G yet. But does this world really need it?
In Italy, they screwed up the WHO protocol and did an autopsy on a corpse that died from COVID-19. They cut off the body, opened the arms, legs and other sections of the body and realized that the veins were dilated and clotted blood, all veins and arteries filled with thrombi, preventing the blood from flowing normally and carrying oxygen to all organs, mainly the brain, heart and lungs, and the patient ends up dying. Already knowing this diagnosis, the Italian Ministry of Health immediately changed the COVID-19 treatment protocols.
Not true, and can easily be verified with a simple web search.
And began to administer to their positive patients aspirin 100 mg and Aprinax. Result: the patients began to recover and present improvements, and the Ministry of Health released and sent home more than 14,000 patients in a single day.
The Italian Medicines Agency makes no mention of aspirin on its page about drugs being used outside of clinical trial to treat patients with COVID-19. The agency's list of clinical trials in Italy on potential treatment for COVID-19 does not explicitly mention aspirin either. There is at least one study into using aspirin to treat COVID-19, although that is not taking place in Italy. I have mentioned earlier about WHO recommending heparin, which happens to be an anticoagulant and normally is used to prevent blood clots, has been given to COVID-19 patients in Italy in certain circumstances. It's not clear what it means about 14,000 having been released from hospital healthy in Italy. Over 170,000 people in Italy had recovered from COVID-19.
Now it is understood why the order to incinerate or immediately bury the bodies without autopsy and label them as highly polluted.
No, instead, we should just dig our hands into it and leave it outside for the virus, right? Oops, I mean bacteria, by your saying, to fest further. Even you see that being wrong, right?
It is in our hands to carry the truth and hope to save many lives. That's why the antibacterial gel works and the chlorine dioxide. All the pandemic is because they want to vaccinate and chip to assassinate the masses to control them and reduce the world population. God save US.
The pure silliness. So, my friend, I asked him if the whole world was on this hoax. His first response was no, but it's from 5G. Of course, I immediately asked him why people in countries without 5G getting this disease and dying. And as I have some friends in medical profession in Bangladesh, I know how dire the situation over there is. So his response was, well, apart from 5G, it's also drug and needles. So what you're saying is, all those poor farmers in remote parts of Bangladesh is getting infected because of infected needles? At this point he gave up. It's simply this. History have shown us coups where government have collapsed, and at times manufactured events like the things CIA pulls in foreign soils. But thinking that the entire planet, from democrat to communist to despotism to war-raged countries, every single place is conspiring against you, US? It's funny how you think this is a setup to reduce world population. Hey dum-dum, just understand this. Let's say there is a hypothetical event where a zombie virus, let's call it T-virus, infects the entire planet within days. Do you know what would happen? the people living in very remote places, maybe up in Himalayas, would probably survive, and so would the super rich who have their own bunker. That's it. Guess what happens afterwards? Nothing. That's it. Nothing. The one on those remote places might be able to survive, and for the remaining, just hope they have enough canned foods, as there will be no agriculture, no production, nuclear plants won't run, there will be no power, no fresh water, no central heating. All the things we take granted for, poof, would be gone. And you guys think this virus is a plan to reduce the world's population to 5 million? Okay. And instead of saying God save US, you could have at least said God save us. At least it would show that you're a bit more compassionate. Well, that's all for this video. Thank you all very much for watching. If you enjoyed it today, please do like and subscribe. It would be thoroughly appreciated. Have a safe day. Signing off.